Jones, what in the hell are you doing?
Well, the old bike start was starting hard a couple days ago, and I thought I knew exactly what happened. It would crank and crank and crank and crank and crank, and then I had to get my old trusty piece of copper wire out and tickle it a little bit to get some gas up in it, and it would fire. And about a year ago, we found out what was going on. And what was going on was back in
Hold on here. What's this with this trusty piece of wire?
Well,
What's going on?
The trusty piece of wire is
What's going on here?
when this thing sets for a long time. It's got a Tillotson Carburetor. It doesn't have a float. It's just got a
Where'd you pull that from? You got that magically?
right there. I never leave home without it.
So it just wrapped around the frame.
Just wraps around the frame, and you just go and pull it right off.
Okay.
And underneath here, there's a little atmospheric hole. And when this thing sets a long time, the diaphragm in there seats down, and it doesn't do this. So I take this right here and I find that hole and turn the gas on and just do that, and it acts like it's moving, and it sucks gas into that carburetor. Then it'll fire.
So that's when you're tickling the Tillotson.
That's when I'm tickling the Tillotson. And I usually only have to do it if it sets for a couple of weeks.
Good deal.
Because then what happens is that diaphragm doesn't move good, and then it wants to pop, pop, pop when you take off. Once it gets lubricated, she runs like a champ.
Awesome. Well, I'm going to set this camera up, and then you can tell me what you're going to do.
All right.
All right, Jonesy.
So I got on her about a week or so ago and tried to start it, and it was starting real hard. And I had a feeling I knew what was going on. This is a Tillotson Carburetor on it, you know that. We got to take this off right here. Take my old air cleaner off. It does have the original air cleaner in it, which I believe is copper.
Sure looks copper.
Yeah, and it's still. I was going to replace it, and an old guy told me, he said, "Why did you replace that? Just clean it." So I clean it with parts cleaner and put it back in there every now and then. So in here in this Tillotson, it has a two-piece. What do we call that? A flapper?
Choke flapper.
Choke flapper. This thing has a spring in the top half of it that goes like that. And every now and then, this thing will backfire, and this thing will flop down this way right here. So it looks like a half moon instead of a full moon.
So tell everybody why they even made one.
Well, we just did a little research, and Harley Davidson decided this would be a fail-safe for somebody that pulls the choke. Will pull the choke to start it and forget to shut it and keep running. And then instead of falling on its face, the vacuum will take over and it'll suck that on. It'll be rich, but you'll be able to run. So we did a little research and thought, hey, can I replace that with a solid one? And they said, sure, you could do that. Guys that tune them and performance will do that, but Harley decided, what did they say, 67, 68, 69, 70, and 71. They used this carburetor, and that was the reason for it. What's going on, I got a small crack starting on this top half flap on each side there. And I was thinking about, we have a buddy that has an old shop, and he has a couple of Tillotson carburetors, but they were all in this kind of shape. So, but yeah, so when you pull that choke and it shuts it like that, she'll fire right up. Then just like any other bike, it's got a carburetor, you shut the choke down. But I don't know, if it does it again, I just might go and get a solid one and put in there.
So you think because of that flap that when it backfires or something, or it's pushing that thing past the spring and flapping it right over?
It's got to come this way. That's in my book. I got a book, and that's how that thing's supposed to be in there. And the only thing that can happen is somehow it gets over that spring and flops back down this way.
And then once that happens, you can't close your choke all the way.
Nope.
It makes it hard
It
to start.
runs. It'll run. No problem. But it's starting it. When it's warm, it's no problem. But when it flops down over here, and I call it half moon. That's when I have to go under there and tickle it and get gas up into there, because it's not. It's just like trying to start your bike with no choke.
Yeah, right.
You know,
Half choke, right?
half choke. Yeah. If I could get my hand over it, I could live with that. You know, but. So I'm probably going to live with it like that until it either breaks or it does it too often. Then I'll replace it. But other than that, that's the only thing that's given me problem with her in a long time. We were just considering talking about it. The odometer says 13.9 on it, and then Grant asked me, do you think that's the original miles? I don't know, but I don't think it's 113,000.
No, it's too fresh as far as just
It just sat a long time.
compression and everything
Yeah,
else.
it runs too good. It runs too good. I mean, there's some wear on the foot pedals wore through, but I was just looking at the floorboards. The floorboards aren't wore out. I'm the third owner. The second owner bought it in '72, and the last time he played it, it was '88. And I don't know how much he rode it. It's obviously sat a long time, so. And the speedometer was working when I bought it. So I honestly think that's the original miles. It just sat. So.
Well, that's cool. It's cool. It's a beautiful machine. The green machine.
Green machine. No, everybody thinks it's an old army bike because it looks old and it's, green. But yeah, it's 1970. So I'm going to keep her just like that, like I said before, and I'm going to keep riding it.
And you haven't washed this since the day we pulled it out of that shed, right?
No, almost 10 years now. The only thing I do is wipe the mirrors off,
Yeah.
check the air pressure, change the oil, and get on it and ride it every year.
The beautiful hue of green is
It's mold.
40 years or 50 years worth of satin.
Yeah.
40 years or something like that.
Yep, that's the mold that's on it. My leg wiped it off there from riding it, but yeah, it's
That's awesome.
it's a good conversational piece too.
For sure. For sure.
For sure.
So if you've already subscribed, thank you. If you haven't, consider it. Smash that bell. Punch that monkey in the throat, whatever you're supposed to do. Have a good one. Enjoy your day. I think we should go do a burnout or something, or do a wheelie. Or,
I don't know if I could do a burnout on this thing.
yeah.
I have to put a block
Think you
in
can
front
lock
of
your
it.
back brakes up?
No, not the front ones. I know I can't lock the front one up.
No,
on this.
no.
Back one I can lock up, but not the front.
There you go. All right. Enjoy your evening.
Have a good day.
See you.
All right.